Boy, I've noticed the Space Academy is growing so fast. It's amazing how we're coming into expansion streamlines and allocation of the Empire. It's all over this allocation your settings. It's very powerful what we're coming into. So waiting in line communications for everybody to come in, lines allocation. Putting correlations in direct lines, Alpha Bravo, rendezvous. Sending you guys in calculation your sectors, vectors, quads, directing state locations into all the galactic 101s, interdimensional gods, immortal gods, communication, sending directions. Especially for all the new viewers that come in, just truly understand that keep your eyes, ears open through line side locations and basically ask questions afterwards. Okay, when you are traveling, no, right? Because the thing is, when you see higher level settings, because there's application to the mortals or interdimensional gods, they're using their telepathy. So when you're using this and you don't understand telepathy, it's disrupting their channel streams. Okay, so especially the first thing when you come on my live is get into pre-flights. Check this, check that, check that this, Merkabah, test, touch, good, go. Right, travel, right? So once you get into that setting, things get a lot more easier informations, right? Pre-flight is extremely, extremely important, okay? So we had a correlation stream and defaults, copy, paste, delete, erase. Panel streams, high set locations, high interference, defaults, or anything locations to understand your CPU unit. So in that line position locations, we're kind of like going to go back and forth in set position travels to understand how to get into the kilo center line conditions line position, foxtrot position attraction. You're going to see generals say that a lot because now we're going to higher frequencies and now there's a lot more command inside location of space lines. They're like phew, 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 phew. UFOs are flying all over the place, getting ready on standby because tomorrow's a big day. What's the big day? New correlation setting direct system location to evolution. Now this gets everybody into their higher self line inside the locations. Now everybody does an activation already. Is that Space Academy? They're in set locations. You really have to get into your mind. What I mean by that is that you're in the Space Academy. Try to direct set locations at 3 lines, at 3 webbings, to 3 positions of frequencies. You got your low frequency, you got your medium, and you got your high. Low to the higher self, medium to the avatar, and high to the connections to the sim. Put that together, you'll see yourself in your Space Academy. Right? Everybody can do it at your level. Okay? There's nothing that you can't do that you've already done already. And remember, you're just coming into this process. You're coming into recall. You're coming into reclaiming. You're coming into who you are. You're starting to remember everything that's going on in this application or system inside conditions. So it's important to understand these things. The more you see yourself in your Space Academy, the more you have balance with your Earth perceptions, okay, which is now in a higher line setting, okay? The connections of the Galactic 101s are in the astral turf, which is astral planes, and so we keep coming into the soul planes. Now, direct location, interdimensional gods and the immortals are already on the soul planes. So we really have to understand how to right? Really get in that set line communication setting. Once you reach that correlation setting, go Alpha Bravo, Echo Zulu 1. Tango, Foxtrot, set location, your settings, directions. It just it flows, right? Whiskey Charlie, Alien Cannon, high interference, Kilo 1. It's all position and track communication. It just flows, right? So the more you connect in high interference, you get extra 1,000 coming everywhere. Right? So it's all about balancing yourself inside locations, right? So think of line communication as they are all formations working for you once you're staying you inside. But the more you see yourself in your Space Academy, the more you see yourself in your facilities, the more you see each other in the hallway, everything comes clear to set locations, your systems. All right? Because you have to get out of that old reality after tomorrow. All right? High fly, line center, high stream line, direct signals, position of panels, operation locations, calculating high setting position attractions. Mother Earth is coming into a new seed pod, guys. Coming to high line settings to streamline interference in allocation of your systems. 2 positions of tracks and 1 line rotation center. Let's start with application. All right. Direct lines, the graph lines, streamlines, cross lines, high calculation, high interference, crossing position location, operation to its location. Okay. Now, understand the ground lines, in-line rotation, surface, and track communications. Okay. In that calculations, the calculation high position location, the roots in set location of ground lines, okay, is going to high levels. It's going to hover up in set location travel. See? Now, there's 3 panels in line center, okay, in set locations. Now, in that direct same line of position locations, the roots are going to switch lines in anomaly and center up, okay? Center up, center up, center up, center up, center up. She's going to be separated into the earth planes in its location. This, gone. This is the AstroTurf, okay? Setting track to its communication setting, line setting, and this is all levels. Stargate portal, Stargate line center is 24 lines, stream locations, Stargate high center position, travel settings, right? Star command centers and 3 command ships. They're coming in and star portals, seat location and settings, seating arrangements, navigation streams, allocate line interference, and track calculation and interference. So there's going to be a lot of position location of centers, very big data model in line center locations. So in that center communication, this is going to go in the ground setting. And it's going to go this way and set position off calculation, off grid. It's going to off grid line rotation. And what's going to happen, it's going to come into a black hole and it's going to disintegrate over time set location of time setting. In that direct location, this is going to set position of track lines at 3 line rotation in a certain line of communications of direction. Okay. So try to understand how all this works in set location of setting. So Mother Earth is leaving the old roots and coming into a new line setting, which is the Astro positions to its connections to its astral planes, directing lines in set locationary connections, how you use yourself, okay, through prodigal stream. So try to understand that old roots, new roots, sending locations, right? Now, in position location, your star academies in line direct signals is on the soul planes. That's direct location in center and rotation system to those locations, right? Which is Asgard. Okay, that's Asgard. So in that line calculation setting, all lines, indirect signal, okay, will be the astral projection. The astral projection line setting comes into streamlines and set location and directions. Okay, see the platform? All right, so we've got a platform communication instead of an X2000 line stream, 2 line division location centers. Okay, it's amazing how it's going to be set up tomorrow. Okay, so scan settings and high line interference in 1 track, scan line center locations and 3 track locations and directions. Okay, so that's what's going to happen tomorrow. Scanning centers and line interference, protecting Mother Earth, right, in all rotations. So it's going to be a 6 waving cycle inside location line system, some bounce correlations and directions. 2 panels on left, 2 panels on right, and subposition travel. Okay, so it's kind of like having an escort, right? So in that track location, and we're using XT 30,000 lines, right? So nobody gets in front of Mother Earth. So direct locations, platitudes are line setting right here to there, line setting, right? She waits on signal and she comes into a Hubble, into a box line rotation. So we protect her streamlines and calculations to her hive and line rotation. Okay, so she platitudes her division line stream interference. So all this disappears. So when that disappears in line stream, everything changes log line signals. Puts position of track to its communications, wiping out the system location. Okay, just going to erase it out. Everything I do is already done, but I'm just showing you exactly what's going to happen when, and also communication setting lines in direct system is going to disappear through settings. Box triangulation, high interference, into all levels. And track to its communications, right? So we'll be doing this, and all line center interference, and a new position location of track lines and high and line rotations to center position location of the system. Okay, This will be gone. Okay, so we're just dealing with this now. Okay, so try to understand the connection, how this is all going to work, right? So we're setting up new grids for Mother Earth. This is the astral chart, this is the astral planes. Okay, pay attention. Okay, so waiting on signal and line centers. Coming in the graph line stream. Now, the direct application system is really understand how to really see yourself at all levels of a new formation, new astral projection settings, right? Setting line calculation, setting direct system to all settings to your inner child. Setting track to its communication. Baby line center interference, child position location, teenager, and adult line rotation surface. That's how it's going to be set up. Baby line center is aligned to 3 stream location system. Mother Earth line rotation of pi and direct signal. Correlated line interference and travel calculation stream locations and directions. Center position all levels, center line rotations, and travels lines of 3 line signatures and position locations operation. Okay, that's how it's going to be set up tomorrow. So we're taking this sequence line, send line interference, the inner child, lines its communications, 3 lines, 0, 0, 0, 3 line communications, and height interference of 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lines equals lines of 3, 7, and center position location of Mother Earth. Okay. Now Mother Earth is going to track our line setting, and that opens up all levels of panels and 3 set location of center location. Okay. I know it's complicated stuff, but try to pay attention to what's going on right now. Okay, so in that line interference, the direct signal to all set locations, the child line is going to change direct signals, coming in all positions to its pyramid and set locations, right? That's how it's going to be set up. Film strips of 12 line signature streams, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Boom, right? Powerful stuff. So we got 4 lines of water and 3 lines of division. Now that sets line to 7 bodies of water. 7 bodies of water comes into 12. Mother Earth is going to be birthed into a new root. Now that root line panels its line interference and track to its beam line, calculation streamline, crossing signals, and set lines at calculation setting in space anomalies and set location. Okay. Now, how this is set up. Yeah, this is where you come in, Chris. The center position location of Chris has to really understand how to set up the flywheel line center location of 4 line signature streams and set location of 3 lines of perimeters, 4 lines of pi, and lines of 4 zeros, and position of 3 lines of 0 line rotation, setting, and correlation in direct system. So it's all about understanding the upgrading line calculation setting into levels of vector cross location. See the V line? That's velocity into volume, okay, into all lines of vector, okay? Triangulation reset a 3 line rotation surface and triangulation. Very powerful stuff. Okay. That's how it's going to be set up tomorrow. Okay. All right. So setting on waiting on signal on graph line stream interference, tracking to its communication setting directions. So we come into line interference, bracket location of 6, position of 2 point systems, 1 lines, downline shift, cross line stream location of setting. Now, in direct signal line interference, high calculations 1 flywheel, redirect signal locations setting, just where GIPS comes in, center line rotations into Stargate panels, Stargate portals and set location of setting. Changes all lines at 12 into 24 sequence patterns and set location. Okay, GIPS? Now, directing line position location crosses line stream in line communication of 2 panels in operation. Sets position location of 3 line signature streams. Okay. Now, in that communication, all right, yep, so pay attention. The calculation of the sun is going to be in the right line angle in line rotation. Okay. The moon's going to cross lines in the arrow below in line rotation surface. So the triangulation high interference comes into pi in direct signal, comes in position of down cross stream in line calculations, up line, wing line, and set position of traction. Okay, so it's a geographic map, line rotation, position of stargates for portals, location of Gypsy. Track to its communication line settings, waiting on signal, position of travel lines, directing panels. Now in that line rotation interference, this is where we come into the center communication setting to Merkaba of Heather. Rotate ground lines, operation line, surface location, high settings, and 3 track locations in position. Okay, now this opens up lines of 3 signature stream locations, Heather. Okay. ground lines, and set locations. So your job is to protect the mother hub and line rotation to her seed pod position of traction. Okay, Heather? So she's got calculations of the tentacles coming out of the line stream and 24 signature stream locations of roadways and graph line streams and direct signal to its location. Okay, Heather? So in that position location, guys, you have to really understand is protecting Mother Earth. So she's leaving her old system and coming into her new line stream. Now the code weaving comes in line calculation setting directions in all levels. Steer your location to a setting position to its operation surface. All calculations code weaving into all levels of plasma set location. Okay, now when that comes in signal, that's also going to be waiting on a signal line position of track line. We come in back in this line set location. Once it centers off in line interference, we change the security perimeters because the thing is we have to protect Mother Earth line rotation interference so nothing comes in her setting. So we change the signature stream lines into one line setting. One line in radiation stream location. Okay. That directs line calculation streamlines in a triangulation reset program. And that program, its line signals as that location of travel. Okay. Signifies calculation line. That's where we come into timestamp. Now this is an echo liner, line 1. Okay. Position of track location. Okay. Done by equation. All right. So we have to really understand how this is all going to work now in factor over line, right? This is where you guys really get into your settings here, missions and journeys and location, travel setting connections. So Mother Earth has to be protected more now because she's going to be covened in set location line. She's going to be in her cocoon for her line set location to a new streamlines, new nature route. Let me say it again, a new nature route. The root line centers of the old signal line interference is going to replace the positions of two valves and splits anomalies and two correlation settings in two track location and expand line stream into a line calculation cross line. Directing lines of triangulation reset program and line set location line setting and trying to find the balance in set position of space and anomaly line shift lines anomaly location system and track location. Okay. So in that position of travel, getting at the high center interference, directing lines of 3 planet line rotation surface. Now we're going back into black line cycles. Tracting correlations of beam line centers. Now a beam line center sets position of graph line streams. 1 position, 2 position, 3 position, 4. Okay. Graph, 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 graph. Okay. So there's 2 panels lines. So it's an echo. So location of chamber, echo chamber, right? Kilo. Okay. Kilo. Fox. Right? T. Okay. ROT. Okay. Now, indirect signal, high position of travel lines. The energy lines are correlations of kilo. It's going to set lines of energy line, circle line rotation surface, and sun position location line setting to one planet surface location. Now, directing lines, signature lines at E, and a correlations of panels. This is where Tina comes in and track to its communication. Flywheel divisions on one line signature and ground lines on a box line rotation. Okay. Signifies 3 line stream lines and high calculation setting and direct signal. 2 panels, line calculation to XT1000 streams. Okay. Directing line calculation center in all levels of operation to set position to its setting and travel calculation to its moon of operation. Center calculation stream location of setting the direction. Okay. Okay, so in that position location, again, we wait on signal because it doesn't come in until 6 a.m. So waiting on position of track lines puts all levels of high setting. Now, this is where we split the anomalies. 2 planet surface, 1 planet here, 1 planet here. Shift anomaly line strip, okay? Center line rotation, routes. Set location of system of travels, okay? Center correlation high interference. This anomaly shifts line communication in position all levels at 5 signature streams. 5 equals lines in position locations alpha bravo. That's where everybody's coming into, alpha bravo line set rotation. Now, in the mediation line graph line, sets position location and setting and 2-track line communications, center line rotation, and a triangulation of 3 set position of programs. Now, in that direct line calculation setting, the planet surface location, okay, is going to field off into a low ground center line rotation surface. Okay, the center correlation setting to the Earth line is going to set position location at 3 lines of valves and 3 set locations or directions. Now, in that direct line centers, this is where we come into the panel line, into the magnetic highway information line that cycles its communication to its UFO position. Okay, down by equation, right? This is leaving, this is coming in, this is surfacing. Okay, through Alpha Bravo. All right, how's everybody feeling so far? It's exciting, isn't it? How we set these things up is all position your settings, guys. Okay, so the surface line correlation setting, indirect system location, this will be leaving into lower frame. Okay, lower frequency of line stream and line calculation at 3 lines, center line interference of 4 lines of 3 line set locations back into the karma cycles. Okay, so they got to go back line set locations. So that's 4 over lines of 3, 3 lines of zeros, 4 lines of zeros, 1 position and position of 2-track location settings and direction. Okay. Okay, so they're going on set location or settings, directing panels, correlation system, interaction. Okay, so I want you to understand how this is all set up. The planet splits in an anomaly. Circles, lines, correlation, setting directions, 1 atom line rotation, center line communications, yin and yang process, line stream interference, center correlation, direct system, position location, 2 panels, lines of atom line rotations, center correlation, directing signals, line connection of sun and track communication. See the swirl? Swirls lines, platitude line centers, line interference, and position location to its setting. Okay, now directs line 1 signal and line calculation setting to cross system. Travels lines in 1 signature panel, triangulation high interference into box locations to home. You know what home is, right? Headquarters. So once this is set up in line rotations, the center line interference of the rainbow bridge sets communications, all right, to the higher self line stream. Now, in that set lines of correlation, this is where Hemdahl comes in. Okay, again, we're going to wait on signal and line interference because we got to track through its correlation setting direction to the system. So that's where we bring in channels, bracket calculation setting direction system. 6 equals lines over pi. Okay, over pi, 1 line center. Now we got 1 kilo. Okay, now we got 1 bracket, equal lines of 4, equal lines of 3, 7 line rotation and top location. Now the 6 line panels comes in a half byte. We split the lines of 3 line rotation surface. So we got 4 line signatures, 0 line, 0 line, 0 lines, and 1 line signature equal lines of 4 in panel communication. Okay. Now, once we get in the 4 panel communication setting, puts all line calculations into 4 equals lines of 3, equal lines of calculation of 2, calculations of 5, 5 positions of center, 5 positions of 3, position location of 4, 4 back lines and line into 3, puts position location of 7, 7 equals lines of 4, equal lines of 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 center line calculation of 3, pi direction of time sequence, puts position location of alpha, calculation of Bravo, and set position of travel. Okay, down by equation. Okay, see how the pi sets up the sectors, lectors, and high calculations, all levels of pod settings, and high track to its communication all line. Okay, really understand how it correlates. So we take the 1 line, 4 line, center line rotation interference, and travel calculation. Directing panels, lines of streamlines, crosses lines of 3 line center lines. Okay, vector cross stream locations. Crossing line settings, high interference. And that's where we come in this position location to this location. So we just add the equation. Crossing line settings into this location. Okay, so we're adding frame. Okay. So back in line center high position of travel lines. Okay, it's understanding how to set line calculation stream locations. Diamond core, resistor panels, 2 panel line stream lines, a correlating setting of center line communication of scent lines and high center interference. Directing lines of panels, Merkabah tesseract tetrahedron. Now this off the system location of settings. When I opt the lines, I change the data port stream lines indirect signal to 2 panel line stream locations in defaults instead of location travel settings. Now in that line interference, zip, zap, zoom, correlation setting, x2000 and 3-line rotation surface and triangulation. Sets cross line streams into line calculation setting to female line of a new birth line rotations of Mother Earth. Position line track lines, again, Mother Earth, in line rotations. 2 ground lines, shift lines, 1 cross stream location of setting. Now, in that directional location system, releases pressure lines, okay? Pressure lines align its position location of Fibonacci lines of a covenant line of a cocoon line rotation surface and a triangulation reset program and all line position of face recognition and timelines and high position location into astral projections of set locations. Done by equation. Now Mother Earth is protected. Okay, so it's amazing how you set these things up, eh? How it sets lines and communication lines, right? Indirect signal and all line rotation. Okay, so that's going to travel out. Gone, but still there. So as that's set up line communication, the planet's surfaces changes all levels of direct signals in set locations. All right. 2 panels, lines, 1 string line interference, and 2 vector cross streams in set locations to a flux capacitor string and center of direct signal in set location. Now, in that line calculation setting, this Mother Earth, rotate the surface, triangulates high center interference of 12 into 24. She's getting ready to come into the new roots in line rotation out of her cocoon in line calculation setting to receive pod to her hive in direct signal is that location. Okay? Now, this is, if you look really close, you can see Mother, right? See the eye lines, right? Right? What is she coming in line communication? Honeybee. Honeybee communication is all direct signal, and that's where it comes into the tail, the buzz line rotation surface and set locations. Okay? Fly direction of time sequence comes into the wings and set location. Direct line signals of flywheels and line communications. Okay? Nature is now in a new resource lines of an astroturf to an astro projections. Multi-mega pass. Done by equation. Okay? It's all set. Woo! We did it. Boom. So this is what's left in 4 signatures of 5 line calculation setting of roots. Ready to be released. Okay? Or the Earth line rotates its surface location settings in the lower ground line rotations to its system, to its location. Okay? Done by equation. Look. Okay? So, now she's in a 2-line signature streamlines of 4-line waving line rotation of flywheel coming into the line connection, highest center interference and set location system to a flywheel rotation. Hoo-ah! Now she's way through center through clock lines of a 24-dimensional line of Stargate portal location. Yay! Woo! We did it. Happy dance. I didn't bring my dancing shoes. But it's amazing how you set these things up through equation, right? So really understand how this all sets up to all position locations to come into the new lines of a new evolution to a new track location of new setting and all direct location through pyramid of activation to astral projection. Mega, mega, mega pass. Okay, I'll try not to step on. That's funny. All right, so inline communications. Now we come into the 6-line center. A 6-line center is basically how to understand how to get in correlations of 9 division. Now, a 9 division location to its line calculation setting is 6 equals lines of 9 that correlates high position locations in one center. Okay, so bringing that correlation setting brings lines in its position to all system. So this is what Mother Earth is coming into in all set location. Okay. Now, correlate in high setting and all line interference is travel position location of 3 lines of 2 set positions of operation. Okay. Center correlations of 9 is to signify lines of the Fibonacci line swirl direct line correlates setting direct signal to one line rotations, bringing this up in line rotation is center line of communication. Okay, now she's got I division and 2 line cycles in high rotation surface into all calculation of the system. You see how you balance the line centers of atoms and bring the I receptor line communications into out of the seed pod of the cocoon line interference and travel coordinate and send it to Mother Earth and track communication, send it to new division location, a new plateau comes in a line interference to the line communications. We take the bracket walls off in track locations, balance the set location lines. Mother Earth is now home in line rotation to center location setting in an astral project location of center position. Yay! She got out of her cocoon and now she's home. Bum, 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 bum. All right, phenomenal, isn't it? So the 2 track lines comes into 3 line rotation. Grounds the centers. Now we got 24 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 24. Okay, it's all set up. Chips, this is where you come in your stargates, my dear. Opening line calculation setting and all direct signal to all calculation setting to all spacing line and all position and track line. Woo! Center correlation high, track lines, high center interference. Data process line calculation setting direct signal and calculation high position of travel lines into Heather correlation setting and direct system. All levels of travel line, center line interference, and all direct signal and all data ports, data streams, data alignments, and line rotation. Woo! Okay, it's all done. So it's got a new cycle, new correlation, new direct system, new energy line stream and application. So now she's in a new hub, new line center, high line rotation, service correlation setting, high track to its communication, staying in a new division and a new track locations in her new set location. All right. I know, I'm drawing a tear, you know, it's just like, whoa, it's like, where's it coming from? You know, like, whoa, what did we just do? You know, but it's amazing how you come in and structure have this design location system, bring in Mother Earth out of the old roots into new design. Center track to its correlation setting. Now I'm just drawing it out. Officially, it'll be gone. So you're prepared to know exactly what's happening with you. All right, so center locations. Now we come in that like a spacing line. This is where we come into the walls. We come into the walls now. Okay. Platted 2 lines of 0 lines, surface location setting, direct system to its location system, all levels of track location. Now, it gets complicated, right? Laser direction lines of 2 lines of panels, 3 lines of 4 location system. Okay. We got the ceiling lines, streamlines, high calculation setting, and directions of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 line rotation, because where they are, into ground lines in a 24 walkway surface and travel calculation setting in position of travel lines, 3 line signature stream location system, all levels, into the rainbow and the frost bridge and set location of travel setting. Okay? Now, getting into that position location, the 24 stargates is going to be open through line position of operation. Okay? Center correlation setting line in track to its communication surface. In all lines as surface lines and 2 lines of communication setting and direction. Okay. Now, this opposite system locations, setting track to its communications, getting into that. So we come into a plasma walk. Plasma equals lines of walk. Walk lines equal locations into position of track lines. Into rainbow equal line conditions of frost bridge. Frost bridge and line calculations all levels of gate lines of stargates, 24 line signatures, 24 positions, and 24 locations. Done by an equation. It's all set up. So once we get into that, the platitude line stream is going to get all line communication and all settings to its operation. Okay. So once we get into that, there's going to be cross lines in all line centers, which is this timestamp. Timestamp, time lock, time stream locations in line center interference and balance coordinates and setting directions. Okay. Now it's done. It's all set up. All right, so in that position location, know exactly what's happening in all traction. But I think it's amazing when you actually get these done through equation, because it all starts to get into plateau and line position location of settings. From structure location, the high division line condition, high center interference, and all calculation. So, it's really understand how you see these things in equation. And all this all sets up to its position location of traction to all set connections. So, okay. Now, instead of a formula's equation has to go in line signal. Again, applied to 2 lines. You have bracket communications and 1 hanger. Okay, bracket communication and 1 hanger. Okay, center correlations of 4, equal lines of 3, 3 lines zeros on top, 4 lines zeros on top, 1 signal, and 2 panels. Okay. Now, once you understand that, they're coming into this location in setting, in direction. Okay. Now, understanding that is 4 lines, equal line correlation setting, teleportation string lines, teleportation line interference into telekinesis and 3 location systems. Travel line directions lines is 3-point system location. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, directing plateaus is really understand how the bracket communication comes into settings. Now, we got the vector cross string location of center. Okay. Really interesting set locations, how you come into higher calculations to planet settings. Directing lines of planet line rotation, 2 line rotations, and 3 set line condition sets. 1, 2, 3. 3 line signatures in position location of 3 lines, sun line, communication surface, and triangulation and reset position of programs. Crosses lines only stays on the line rotation. See the dip? So that correlates the high center interference into flux capacitor in line rotation, directing calculations into past, present, center lines, opposite system, stall levels. Okay, puts an angle point, line direct signal into default. So we default, enable, and center lines of communication of setting. So what that does is it changes the 3 line signatures of 2 into 4, bounces 4 lines, bounce backs into 3 lines, into 7 line rotation center correlation. Done by equation. Okay? Complicated stuff, isn't it? So once you understand how this works, then you understand the process, how this all gets done through all set line connection. All right? It's all formula, equation, location to get species line and traxis location to higher cells to their avatars, their sims. So they got the higher self lines, they got the avatar stream, and they got the sim on waiting on signal. Waiting on signal. And then you got your space academies and set location and direction. Okay, space academies there, right? So walking the plateau, line stream, line interference puts in position of track lines. So the position location settings, 1 line rotation of 0 location. And same direct locations, but it's in a 1 line signal. All right, so once we get into that, we come into the ground lines of new operation to the Astro projections set locations, all right? This puts an atom line stream into 2 atom line rotation surface. Triangulates and sweeps line calculation setting into a router, and line calculations to its moon of operation surface that correlates the high center of travel communication of setting, direct signal. Now, in that process correlation setting, we come into the each line centers of 2 panel communications directions. This puts platitude line interference, new ground line, new circle line, and new grid line, and 2 process position locations into a rectangle surface and triangulation reset programs at 3 lines of grounds in a 24 line ground surface and set location. Okay, done by equation. All right, so they got a platitude line and walking line now on the AstroTurf. So how did you set these things up? They have to understand the platitude line stream. So once they get in that position locations, they go through dimensional line stream through the atom line that sets the inner child, sets off the routers and routers in position location of the atom line, sets a correlation of the triangulation of 3 set position of programs and the line centers of 3 in position of 4 and set locations. 7 opts the system and center line of the triangulation line setting that opens all signals. position of panels, and set location of triangulations, all levels of their position locations of their pyramid. Done by equation. Waking up more lines of set locations of visionary cortex into the Astro location system. Okay, everything is done inside. Nothing is done outside. So if you understand this, then you understand how this all platitudes is line set locations. When you're walking surface, you're always in a planet line rotation in that direct signal, but you're crossing line streams, crossing through, right? Crossing through, crossing through, crossing through. Okay. So it's all line connections of 45% lines, okay, which is an ego drop, and set lines of correlation. Okay. So that's where they come into alpha and they come into Bravo, equal lines, calculation of Foxtrot. Done by equation. Okay. So Eagle has landed. New ground lines into an AstroTurf line rotation setting in a 24 ground line in a high surface location of travel. Okay. So this is the rainbow right here that they'll be platted to into in line center and location. Okay. That's how it's set up. All right. Yeah. Woo! Did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. It's beautiful to see it, right? So as of tomorrow, 6 a.m., now that platitudes of location centers. Okay, this is where we take the 6 anomalies and plateau, 6 position location lines of 0. That zips out zooms, line calculation center point system, point system, point system, point system, point system, XT1000 is center rotation. Crosses lines, streamlines, echo Euler, one line, frame line, streamline, rotation surface, triangulates high calculation setting in box location. Now, connections of cloud, line surface location and schematics over pi. Now, in that direct locations, this is where we come into all calculation lines of dimensional door lines, lock, signal line, inference. They're going to be working with 24 doors, guys. So we're setting up the location setting direction so they understand their cerebral high center inference of the travel settings. So they understand the correlation setting to their serotonin, dopamine, and line set locations. So 1, 2, 3, set position of 4, and line calculation of 5, 5 lines of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24 dimensional lines location, visionary cortex line, set up division locations, and cross line signals, and 6 lines at 8 in line rotations, 8 position of track lines, 8 position locations, and 8 division line inference, triangulation line rotation to its position location of pattern, indirect location system, in all position locations on Mother Earth. Done by equation. Okay, it's all set up. Now the signature lines of 3 sets line calculated as sun, equal line calculation 1, 1, 1, 1. So they come into the portal communication of 4 line signatures location system. Traffic calculation lines of 3 line signatures, and line calculation 1, 2, 3 line positions. So that's 2 panels of 4 and 2 panels of 3 in line connections. Done by equation. The only thing left in line communication is the sun comes in line rotations, protects all correlation setting, all direct signal, all line rotation to surface. Yay! Now it's protected. All schematics is all connected high interference of cloud line setting high position of placebos, cortex of cerebral line in rotation in its dimensional line communication, the mystical valve into its dimensional line interference in position locations to its multiverse, megaverse, mega line center line calculation, stream location, direct signal line interference, AstroTurfs, AstroDirect location setting, and position locations of 7 bodies of water in set location. Mega pass. Now we're done. Okay? Yay, we did it. How does everybody feel? I feel amazing. I feel like, wow. I want to put on my dancing shoes. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah! Yeah! Evolution is here. Woo! Party! Get those dancing shoes on. All right, so tomorrow lines, we got waiting signal line interference. We're going to continue frame position location in all levels. Keep those gates open in line and rotation center, 6 a.m. Evolution starts. Adios.
Sending track to its communication system. Say goodbye